My name is Beth Hiley. I'm here for BoardGameGeek, and I'm sitting with Bart and Peter from White Goblin Games, who have a selection of 2 titles to show us today. The first of which is Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore, a game by Peer Sylvester, a German designer, and I think he has really done a great job with designing Singapore, a game with quite simple and easy rules. It's very fast to teach and also to play.
Well, we were looking at the rule book just before this, and it's literally a grand total of about 2 pages.
In fact, it's 2 pages, and you have some more explanation about the buildings. But once you know how the game works, you don't need the explanation of the buildings anymore. So it's 2 pages, but it has a lot of depth. Shall I show you how the game
please,
how the game works? Okay. Well,
first off, the start. You can place these tiles any way you want, as long as they don't hit the water.
Okay.
So your board is always different from each play. That's one of the big things in the start, I think.
Yes. So this is a possible situation at the start of the game, but you can place the tiles anywhere you want. So you can make a lot of combinations of how you start with this game. In this game, the players are rich merchants, and they're going to try to develop the city of Singapore. And they do so by build buildings, by walk through the city, trade with different goods. And what really nice is that in this game, in most of games you have wood and stone and all that kind of stuff, but in this game you also have opium. And opium, it's illegal, of course, but it's very lucrative. So you might want to trade in opium when you're playing this game, but that is also very risky because the police might catch you. So you have to find a balance between legal trade and illegal trade, which is a lot more lucrative. Well, first of all,
sounds fairly accurate for Singapore.
Yeah, that's right. You see here the score track, and the player who is last on the score track, the first thing he does is take one flag marker from each color. So in a 4-player game, you have those 4 flags, and that player, for example, when I'm red, I place my red flag here on the £0 spot, and I place, for example, the yellow flag here, the green flag here, and the blue flag here.
You always have to be adjacent to a building.
So you couldn't just randomly throw one way over there.
No.
Build off of what you built before.
Yes, that's right. And this determines where each player has to build his building in
the person
the common
last
round.
place gets to say you have to build there.
Yes, that's right. So the player who is last on the scoring track, he decides where each player has to build his building. So of course I take a cheap spot, and some other players, for example this one and this one, green and yellow, they have to pay £4 to build a building over there. If they don't have enough money, they can go back on the score track, and they can go back 1 victory point, and then they will get £2. So if you run out of money, that's the only way in this phase of the game that you can get extra money. Well, after the start player has decided where each player has to build his buildings, there are always in a 4-player game are 5 buildings open on the table. And the starting player, he may choose a building first. So what he does is he takes the building that he wants, he puts it on this spot, puts his flag on it, and he connects it with the rest of the city with a street. For example, like this. After he's done so, and of course he has to pay first, but in this case it was 0. After he's done that, he may take his merchant and walk through the city, and he can take 3 steps, and he can activate 3 buildings. For example, I can, when I'm red, I can walk like this, 1, 2, 3, and that means that I can, for example, activate this building, and this building.
You have to walk through it to activate
also
it.
that one.
And I can also choose for this one, as long as there are 3 buildings.
And could you walk less than 3 if you wanted to?
Yeah,
maybe not.
That's possible.
Yeah, as long as you move over the streets. So you cannot move from here to here, you have to walk
And
around.
it seems there's some streets built into the start of the board
Yes,
here.
yes, that's right. What very important is in this game is that when, for example, I'm red, and when I activate this building, it belongs to the green player. Green already scores a victory point.
Ah,
so when you
using
use
his
buildings,
stuff.
when you use buildings from other players, you give victory points away to the other players. Another thing which is very important is the following. These buildings are dark. They have a dark surrounding. And these buildings are the illegal buildings. That's where you can trade in opium. But each time when you build a dark building or activate a dark building, you have to take one chip from this bag. And in this bag there are 16 black chips and one white chip. 2 white chips, that's right. Thank you, Peter. For example, when I activate this building, I have to take one chip. In this case, it's a black one. I put it before my screen and nothing happens. So during the game, more and more chips will come out, and it will soon happen that a player takes, that a player will take one of the 2 white chips. When this happens, the players look at which player has the most black chips plus opium cubes.
So you would have a total of 4 in this.
In this case, I would have a total of 4. If he has a total of 2 and you have a total of 3, then I have taken too much risk, and then I have to
pay $1 or £1 for each black chip.
So you have to bribe off the officials for
yes.
so much illegal activity.
Yes, yes, that's right. So after you've built your building, you've placed your marker, and you've activated buildings. Then the next player
builds a building.
Builds a building. He does the same, and so
and then
on.
walks, and then build a building and walks.
Yes. So the city will grow, and there will be more actions to choose from during the game. You can also build streets. For example, here is no street, but you can build a street for £2, £1,
yes.
and then you don't have to walk like this, but you can immediately walk
right,
to
to
that.
then hopefully get to the building you really
Yes.
want to activate.
Yes. So you get victory points for each building that one of the other players activates. Buildings with your flag
And so
marker
you
on
leave
it.
this flag out for the whole game.
Yes.
So this will always belong to red.
That will always belong to red. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you can also gain victory points by turning goods into victory points, turning money into victory points, exchange it for them, and that in short is Singapore.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, there's a breakdown of all the powers of the buildings and the rules instead of having to sit here and go through all of them. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Although it just, because this was always my test to see how well I've learned the game is, turn in 4 green cubes for £8. Done.
Yeah, that's right.
Trade in a blue and a red for any 2 of your color, any 2 of your choice.
Same color.
Yeah, two of the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blues for money. I'm guessing. Is that a good or is that?
For that you may choose the colors. So with black cubes it must be 2 of the same color, and with white cubes it can be anything you want.
And I'm guessing if it has this double arrow, it means you could turn £6 into 4 cubes, and 4 cubes into £6. There you go.
Absolutely
if I can
right.
figure that out sitting here, I'm sure anybody could.
Yes, absolutely. And you can play you play this game until you run out of buildings. Because during each round there have to be, in a 4-player game, 5 buildings open on the table to choose from. By the way, a building that doesn't get used during a round will stay there for 1 more round, and after that it will go away. And you try to become the best merchant of Singapore with trading goods, and also do some illegal stuff.
Now I'm guessing, do you have maybe a Essen promo under your elbow
Yes.
there?
Yes, we have an Essen promo. The people who have pre-ordered the game from us or buy the game here from us, they will get 6 extra tires as well as a police style, and these are some nice extra options that aren't part of the base game, but. Yeah, and what I think is remarkable about this game is that you could say that it's a worker placement game because you run with your merchant through those buildings and you activate them. But
you could also say it's a tile placement game.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
tile
yeah,
building.
yeah, and it doesn't really feel like a worker placement game, and that's I think that is one of the strongest points of this game. Besides the fact that the board is different during each play, the buildings are on different positions during each play, so. Yeah, it adds to the variety, to the variation.
Yeah, definitely, and the fact that you can change the map around every time definitely gives it a lot of replayability as well.
Yes, simple to learn.
Anyway, that's my favorite kind of game.
That's a good one.